Hey everybody, welcome back, and we have another one of these exciting games for you here in 1908. Look at the standings, and you'll see we have the Red Sox and the Senators. The Browns are temporarily in first place, with the Red Sox with a win today can tie them. Senators are at 4-5, which puts them about 2 games out. This is a really, really tight American League race so far. It's up for grabs. It's anybody's game, and nobody's a favorite at the moment. And we have Doc Gessler here to start this one off for the Red Sox, and he rolls a 53 for a 16. That's going to be changed over to a 19 by the air randomizer, and Gessler makes it to first base, and he's on first with nobody out for Ampy McConnell. McConnell up there rolls a 61 for a 42, and he is hit by a pitch, and that brings up Gravy Kravitz. Runners on first and second, nobody out, top of the first for the Red Sox. Kravitz rolls a 22 for a 7, and that's going to be a single, scoring 1. Not scoring 1, actually, because Gessler is slow, and he is thrown out at the plate by the left fielder, Gainley, and that sends McConnell to third base. So the Red Sox fall apart in their first attempt to get a lead in this game. They get the base hit, but it doesn't score a run. No score still, 1 away, top of the first, runners on second and third. And Harry Lord up there rolls a 51 for an 8, which is a fly ball over to center field. It's going to be... Milan making that catch for the out, and that scores a run. 1 away as Kravitz moves up to third base. 1 away, 1 in, 2 away, 1-0 Red Sox. And here's Bob Unglaub with 2 outs. He rolls a 34 for a 44. There is a little E-roll. And that roll is going to be a 25, just barely out of the range. That's going to be another fly ball over to Milan in center field. He has it for the out. We go to the bottom of the first. Cy Morgan up there for the Red Sox, and he faces Jim Delahanty, who rolls a 62 for a 12. And the second roll is a 54, which is out of the range. That is a ground ball over to Unglaub at first base, who does it himself, takes it to the bag. 1 away. Here's Clyde Milan. Milan rolls a 61 for a 32. Fly ball to Clymer in right field. 2 away, and here's Jerry Freeman. Freeman rolls a 26 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to third base. It is Lord who grabs it, throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the second. Heine Wagner rolls a 33 for a 7. That's a base hit to right field, and that'll bring up Denny Sullivan here in bunting territory. Of course, he rolls a 66 for a 0, and then it's a 21 for a 6, and that ends up not being a double. Instead, that is a bunt over to Shipka at third base. Throws over to Delahanty, the second baseman, covering at first base, and Wagner moves up. Here's Lou Krieger now, and he rolls a 42 for a 32. It's going to be a fly ball over to Clymer in right field for the second out. Wagner has to hold at second, and here's Cy Morgan. Morgan rolls a 53 for a 21. That is changed to a 20 by the randomizer. That will be an error on the second baseman, Delahanty, who makes a huge miss throw, allowing Morgan to go to second base and allowing the runner to score, and that'll bring up Doc Gessler. Gessler now rolls a 66. So the Red Sox get one back for that one loss to the sacrifice, and the next roll is a 65 for an 8, and that is a single scoring the runner, putting Gessler on at first base. It's 3-0 Red Sox now. Ampy McConnell rolls a 34 for a 44. Hold on, though. We have that little E, and the roll is a 35, and that's going to be a fly ball over to center fielder Milan, who makes the grab for the out. We go to the bottom of the second inning, and now the Senators find themselves really far behind, 3-0, just like that. Bob Gainley up there rolls a 62 for a 12, and here's a little E-roll, and it's a 31 out of the range. That's a ground ball again over to Unglaub at first base. He does himself, 1 away, and here's Otis Clymer, who rolls an 11, and then rolls a 62. That's going to be a 6, and might be more than a double. Let's see. Now this roll is a 54 out of the range. That's a double for Otis Clymer, and that'll bring up Bill Shipka, runner on third base, 1 out, and runner on second base, 1 out. Shipka rolls a 52 for a 27, which is hit to third base. Lord has it, looks Clymer back to second, throws to first for the out, 2 away, and here's George McBride. McBride rolls a 24 for a 13, and that's a strikeout. We go to the top of the third, and it's Gavy Kravitz. Kravitz rolls a 46 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to Charlie Smith. He's got it, throws to first for the out, 1 away. Harry Lord now rolls a 26 for a 30, which is the fly ball to Gainley in left field, 2 outs, and here's Bob Unglaub. He rolls a 62 for a 12. That's a little ground ball over to the first baseman Freeman, who grabs it for himself. Does it himself. We go to the bottom of the third inning, still 3-0 Red Sox. Gabby Street rolls a 63 for a 30. That's a fly ball to Kravitz in left field, 1 away, and here's Charlie Smith, who rolls a 13 for a 22. That's changed to 19. That's going to be a ground ball over to the third baseman Lord, who boots it for an error. Here's Jim Delahanty, 3 errors already in this one. Delahanty rolls a 16 for a 26. That is a ground ball over to McConnell, the second baseman. Flips it to Heine Wagner for the force out at second. Delahanty ends up being the runner at first. 2 outs, and here is Clyde Milan. Milan rolls a 12 for a 24. It's a ground ball over to shortstop. Shortstop Wagner has it. Flips that one over to McConnell for the out. We go to the top of the fourth. And here is Heine Wagner after that play in the field. He rolls a 24 for a 13 and strikes out. One away. First strikeout for Charlie Smith. For now, Denny Sullivan rolls a 63 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to Bob Gainley in left field for the second out. Here's Lou Krieger. He rolls a 43 for a 29. That's going to be a comebacker back to Smith. Throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Jerry Freeman now rolls a 32 for a 26. It's going to be a ground ball over there to McConnell. Throws over to first for the out. One away. Bob Gainley now rolls a 46 for a 27. That's a ground ball to Lord at third base, who makes the play this time. Throws to first for the out. Here's Clymer with 2 outs. He rolls a 41 for a 28. That's going to be a ground ball over to Wagner at short. Throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the fifth. Cy Morgan. Morgan rolls a 44 for a 9, which is a pop-up over to Shipka at third base. One away. There's Doc Gessler. He rolls a 36 for a 14, and that's a walk, and that'll bring up Amby McConnell. McConnell rolls a 64 for a 13 and strikes out. That's going to be the second strikeout for Smith. 2 away. Here's Gabby Kravitz, who rolls a 52 for a 27, and that's going to be a ground ball over to Shipka, who throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the fifth, fast-moving game now. Shipka rolls a 21 for a 30, and that's a fly ball over to Kravitz in left field for the first out. Here's George McBride. He rolls a 62 for a 12. That'll be a ground ball over to Unglaub, who does it himself to the bag. 2 away, and here is Gabby Street, who rolls a 41 for a 28. That's a ground ball over to Wagner at short, throws to first for the out, and we go to the top of the sixth. It's Harry Lord. Lord rolls a 25 for a 10. That's going to be a single, and that'll bring up Bob Unglaub now with a runner on first base and nobody out here in the top of the sixth. We'll do a little hit and run, see what happens. Rolls a 21 for a 30. That's a little fly ball over to Gainley in left field. For the out, 1 away, and here's Heine Wagner. Wagner rolls a 56, and I just wrote that one in incorrectly. It should be a 56 for Wagner. There we go. For a fly ball over to right field. Clymer has it for the out. 2 away, and here is Denny Sullivan. Sullivan rolls a 64 for a 13. That's strikeout number 3, recorded by Charlie Smith. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning, and here is Charlie. He rolls a 46 for a 13, and that's the second strikeout that Cy Morgan has recorded. 1 away. Here's Jim Delahanty. He rolls a 15 for 11. That's a base hit, and then a stolen base for Delahanty. Senators still with a chance to get back into this one. Here's Clyde Milan with that chance. He rolls a 51 for a 9, which is a single over second base. But unfortunately for the Senators, Delahanty is slow, which means that the throw from Sullivan all the way down to catcher Krieger is in time. And the Red Sox get the runner thrown out of the plate, and that'll bring up Jerry Freeman now. 3-0 Red Sox, still runner on second base with 2 outs for Washington. Freeman rolls a 45 for a 14 and takes his base. That brings up Bob Gainley. And he rolls a 46 for a 27. That's a ground ball over to the third baseman, Lord, who makes the play, throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 7th inning, and here's Lou Krieger. Lou rolls a 64 for a 27. It's a ground ball over to third baseman Shipka, throws to first for the out. 1 away, and here's Cy Morgan. Morgan rolls a 44 for a 9. That's going to be a pop-up over to the third baseman Shipka for the second out. 2 away, and here's Gessler. Rolls a 55 for an 8. That's a single for him, but he's caught stealing. And just like that, we are in the bottom of the 7th inning, and here is Otis Clymer. Clymer rolls a 64 for a 13. That's strikeout number 3 from Cy Morgan, and here comes Bill Shipka. Shipka rolls a 34 for a 44. It's a fly ball over to Sullivan in center field for the second out, and that'll bring up George McBride. McBride rolls a 14 for a 43, and that's a fly ball to Kravitz on left, and we go to the top of the 8th inning, still 3-0 Red Sox. Amby McConnell rolls a 64 for a 13, and that's a strikeout number 4 for Charlie Smith. Up next is Gabby Kravitz, who rolls a 63 for a 31. That's a fly ball to center field. Milan has it for the out. 2 away, and here's Harry Lord. Lord rolls a 64 for a 13, and there's another strikeout, number 5 for Smith. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Gabby Street, who rolls a 16 for a 26. That's a ground ball over to McConnell at short, or a second, rather, throws to first for the out. 1 away. Here's Charlie Smith. Charlie rolls a 22 for an 8, and that's a ground ball to Heine Wagner, throws to first for the out. 2 away. Jim Delahanty now rolls a 61 for a 36. That's going to be a ball. The next roll is a 45 for a 14, and that is a ball, and there's a little S there, so Jim Delahanty steals second base after walking. That brings up Clyde Milan. Milan rolls a 33 for a 7. There's a single to right field, and that'll score a runner. First run of the game for the Senators. That brings up Jerry Freeman now with a runner on first base, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. This game's getting close all of a sudden. He rolls a 22 for a 7, and that is a base hit. But unfortunately, there's a good center fielder, Sullivan, who makes the throw over to the third baseman, Lord. That'll get the lead runner, and we go to the top of the 9th inning, still 3-1 Red Sox, and that brings up Bob Unglaub. Unglaub rolls a 21 for a 30. It's a fly ball to left field, and it is Gainley with it for the out. 1 away, and here's Heine Wagner. He rolls a 35 for a 39. That's changed to a 37. It's going to be a strike still on him. His next roll is a 36 for a 33. And the little E rolls a 35 out of range. That's a little pop fly over to Delahanty, the second baseman, 2 away. And here's Denny Sullivan. Sullivan rolls a 44 for an 8, and there's a base hit to left center field. Head number 6 for the Red Sox, and here is Lou Krieger, and he rolls a 16 for a 26. It's a ground ball over to the second baseman, Delahanty, flips it to McBride for the out. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. That'll bring up Bob Gainley, 3-1 Red Sox. Gainley rolls a 23 for a 32. It's a fly ball over to right field. Gessler has it for the out. 1 away. Otis Clymer now. He rolls a 51 for a 9. That is going to be a base hit, but unfortunately it's got that little C, and he is caught stealing. 2 away, and here's Bill Shipka. Shipka, the last chance here for the Senators. Shipka rolls a 64 for a 13, and that is a strikeout, the 4th strikeout of the game for Morgan. And that does it. Your final score here today is Red Sox 3, Senators 1. The Red Sox will end up with a tie with the Browns for first place in the American League. And as I said, 1908 is wide open. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.